Hi everybody, it's your friend Daniel Hutchins. So we've only been up for like maybe, I don't know, like an hour and a half. We just went downstairs and just got myself a cup of tea, just to kind of hydrate my thirst after, making a parody song. If you hadn't gone check out the parody song, I really recommend you check that out. Okay, so what else is going on today? Well, not a lot considering when I just got up. Um, yeah, daylight saving time can definitely throw you off. Yes, daylight saving time can definitely throw you off. And it definitely has thrown off my sleep. So, we're gonna head after some comic book universe. Okay, so what's going on comic book resources? Alright, what is going on comic book resources? We hadn't been on comic book resources in a while, so we're gonna head over to comic book resources. And yeah, okay. And so yeah, okay. I see you said name a car for an edit and I'll subscribe. Um, I'm sorry, I don't do that here. Okay? We just talk about comic books. Alright, so, okay. So, what are we gonna be talking about? Hold on. My computer screen is going through so fast. Okay, we're going to be talking about how Netflix is going to be bringing us a live action Scooby-Doo. Yes, Netflix is bringing back a live action Scooby-Doo series. Yes, Netflix is now announced they're bringing back a live action Scooby-Doo series. It's been in the work at Netflix for a while now. The Netflix streaming service has handed out an 8-episode order for a highly anticipated project. All thanks from a production company and Warner Brothers Television. Okay, so from the Deadline, which is a news place, the upcoming series will reimagine Scooby-Doo for the next generation, reviewing that the origins of a famous mystery-solving teen group and their beloved dog, Scooby-Doo. The following logline basically says that share for an upcoming series. Written by Josh Applebaum and Scott Rosenberg. During the final during the final summer at camp, Shaggy and Daphne got embroiled in a haunted mystery surrounding a lonely lost Great Dane puppy who has witnessed a supernatural murder. Together with their pragmatic and scientific townie, Velma, and a strange but also handsome new kid, Fred, they were able to solve the case and pull off a creepy nightmare that threatens to expose all of their secrets. Okay, so yeah, apparently they are going to make some Scooby Doo over on Netflix. Yes, they're going to be making some Scooby Doo over on Netflix. A new episode run series, an 8-episode run series. Okay, so what else is going on? Well, that's a good question. We're going to see what else is going on. Okay, did you guys know that the actor Vin Diesel has teased that he'll direct a precursor to the part 2 of Fast and Furious 10? Yes, Fast and Furious 10 is going to be concluding very soon. And this is from our friend Vin Diesel, who has also run the Fast and Furious franchise for more than over 2 decades. So, according to Instagram, Diesel has confirmed he's directing a precursor to part 2, further ramping up the anticipation for the Fast and Furious finale. Though he's kept some tight wraps and details and short close to the vest, he teased that it'll be short and will be filmed in a weird location. Having done a short lead up to the 2009 Fast and Furious on Universal Pictures, they confirmed the request has come in again to direct the precursor to the finale of the series. because for now, we just are waiting to see what is going on. Okay, alright, so this will kind of end the world as we know. So again, previously directed the short which fills the gaps between the first franchise entry. The Fast and Furious franchise will soon be able to end soon. However, Part 2 has continued where Fast and Furious 10 has left off, with the cliffhanger ending teasing a potentially dead fate for Dominic and his family and his longtime friends. The sequel will further deviate from the recent sequels and push the boundaries out of edge, opting for a back-to-back approach focusing on the franchise's beloved street race elements, with a small budget than the predecessors. Fast and Furious 10 was the most expensive movie of their series, and it boasted about $340 million. Okay, so there has been no significant script or production update yet. However, his co-star has claimed things are going to get rolling sometime soon. However, he's been preparing for part 2, showing that some behind the scenes footage on plugging on the vehicles and tracks from the film. Vin Diesel has also said that Dominic's fate in the movie will assure fans that they would pay tribute to the late Paul Walker, who basically has recently passed away. Rest in peace, Paul Walker. He was also Dominic's right hand man. And Paul Walker, as we know, has passed away in 2013. Rest he be in peace. Rest he be in peace. So now we have Dwayne The Rock Johnson coming in to fill in for Fast and Furious 10 Part 2. Now we know Dwayne The Rock Johnson is really big in a lot of action films, especially throughout the 2000s. Given that Dwayne The Rock Johnson had his own spin-off movie within the universe, however, that's no word about the spin-off since announcement. And they're supposed to say that the next part is going to come next summer. It's going to be happening next summer. Fast and Furious 10 Part 2 will be happening around next summer. Okay. All right. So that concludes the update on Fast and Furious 10 Part 2, since you guys wanted to know what was going on with Dominic. Okay. So what else is going on? Well, that is a good question. We are going to continue or catching up on what's going on with movies and shows over here on Comic Book Resources. This is like a free website where you can read as many news and as many updates on popular hit pop fiction franchises that you feel like is important to you. Okay, so we did Scooby-Doo, the update on Scooby-Doo. We did the update on Fast and Furious 10 Part 2. So now we're going to be catching up on one more thing for this live show. One more thing for this live show, and then I might be making a separate video that's not going to be a live show for the next one. Okay, so did you guys know that the movie from last year, Kraven the Hunter, has recently beaten out The Electric State on Netflix? Did you guys know that Kraven the Hunter, which was the latest addition to the Sony Spider-Man universe, which we know has ultimately flopped in the theaters due to poor reviews from the critics, considering the audience reviews are encouraging, the movie has more success on Netflix than our new movie, the one that we've mentioned. However, Aaron Terrell Johnson, Kraven the Hunter, premiered on Netflix on March the 13th, and has received a lot of popularity from the fans. Not so much the critics, because the critics don't like it, but the fans liked it. Although it missed the number 1 spot in the chart, the interest of the film was strong. The second week on Netflix since it was released, Kraven the Hunter has continued to draw more attention, and with another Sony Spider-Man film, the Morbius, has also joined them on the charts for the global charts around Netflix. For the second week in a row, Kraven the Hunter has fell to fourth place in the global worldwide movie charts, adding about 6 million more hits and 12.8 million more hits viewed. The film has continued to be available in the United States alone, which has added enough views and popularity to hit onto the global charts. Interesting as it is, the domestic charts, Craven the Hunter was in third place ahead of the Russo brothers' late release, The Electric State. Now, if you hadn't seen those, I think you should go see those. The both I heard very good. And they added about 22.5 million views globally and continued the dominance and number one spot, with U.S. release of Craven the Hunter sitting right behind Gerald Butler's action film, The Den of Thieves 2, and the documentary In the Twister Caught in the Storm. Okay, meanwhile, we remember Morbius was on the charts for a while. He was on the chart for 8th place globally and has received 4.9 million views and 8.5 million hours watched for the third week ever in the charts since the release on Netflix. The movie is not available on Netflix US, but it is available to stream on Disney Plus and HBO Max. However, it was a hit across the world. Morbius had entered the top 10 charts in 22 countries and became the number one movie in 4 countries after 3 years after it was released. Now, again, Morbius and Craven the Hunter has shared similar reviews. Craven the Hunter, again, being the late addition to the Sony Spider-Man universe, and Morbius marking the second character to receive a film after Tom Hardy's Venom has now had success in the Venom films. Morbius was beginning to end the Sony Spider-Man universe when it was plagued by poor reviews. The movie again had a budget of $75 million and grossed $162.7 million worldwide, managing to earn back the investment it made for the profit. However, it was later re-released in the theaters after it went viral for many memes. Meanwhile, Craven the Hunter is a box office flop, and yet the movie was the first R-rated film in the SSU, the Sony Spider-Man universe, and had a high price tag of about $110 million and has only grossed $60 million. So you can see the critical reception of both films as they saw on Rotten Tomatoes, an abysmal 15%. An abysmal 15%. And critics have panned almost all the Sony Spider-Man films for the last 5 years, especially Craven and Morbius, even though Morbius has a 71% score on the popcorn meter, which is another place, and the audience enjoyed the visuals for the fast action sequences. However, Craven the Hunter has a similar score of 73%. Yes, definitely. Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. I see you on the message board. Okay, so that concludes this one. I'll see you all later.